The Powertrain Perspective podcast is sponsored by TransStar Aftermarket Solutions.
Good day and welcome to Powertrain Perspective. Today I'm joined by Ken Kelly. Ken is president of a new company, is our new brand name in the aftermarket called Independence Driveline. But Ken is an old pro at the aftermarket. He's been involved in performance racing, transmissions, and torque converters for a long time. Ken, tell us a little bit about your biography.
Very good, Bobby. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. Basically, I started in the industry in 1982. I was a kid in high school, went to Votech school and took up the trade of welding, and actually was hired as a welder to tack weld fins of torque converters long before we ever got into the furnace brazing of parts later on in life. I advanced after that to end up running the entire torque converter division for 25 years. The owner came to me, moved me into the office for sales and technical help for allowing the racer to call and get the correct combination for his transmission and torque converter, depending on what he was doing with the vehicle at that time and what power levels he was running there. And then after that, finally becoming the general manager of the company and all that. So I've been in the industry my whole adult life. It's a passion for me, and I absolutely love it.
And speaking of your whole adult life, when we contact you, we have to contact Ken Sr. because there's a Ken Jr. that is also involved and passionate.
Yes, I'm very fortunate to be able to work side my son. Some of those things don't work out with father and sons. I'm very fortunate enough to be able to do it with my son, and I actually love it. I don't know if his answer would be the same as mine, but I can tell you I'm pretty lucky to be able to do that and bring him up as the next generation within our industry, which is very important, paramount for our industry to keep growing and going, you know.
Sure. Now, Independence Driveline is part of a larger corporate umbrella. I know it includes McLeod Racing. What else? What all is involved in that?
Okay. It's actually, the technical name is Wharton Automotive. CEO president is Paul Lee that owns it. It is solely his. He has McLeod Racing out of Anaheim, California. Silver Sport Transmissions out of Tennessee. Competition Clutch. He has an automatic company, FTI Performance, out of DeLand, Florida. And he started this company in Philadelphia, Independence Driveline. He is just an amazing human being to work with, and he is staying strictly with the driveline components. I mean, he doesn't venture out in pistons and blocks and rear gears and all that. We're strictly driveline right here in all five of the companies, whether it is a clutch style car or an automatic transmission car.
And you, of course, specialize in the automatics, and you have transmission parts for those transmissions that are popular with the drag racers, and then you have torque converter parts, and you sell a torque converter kit. Let's talk about that a little bit later. Tell me about the transmission parts line first.
Transmission parts lines, Independence Driveline is strictly a wholesale company. We work business to business only. Our company in Florida will deal with retail customers, to handle their needs. So we strictly deal with transmission shops that are building the units. Our line of transmission parts your Power Glide, which is your Paramount unit. We make every small part that goes to a Power Glide, aftermarket cases, bell housings, input shafts, depending on power level, from your 500 horsepower up to 3,000 horsepower and everywhere in between. Billet valve bodies, planetary gear sets, anything you can think of. The Turbo 400 line, which is very strong, same product line as that, input shafts for different power levels, aftermarket case, bell housing, all your deep aluminum pans. Then we get into our diesel end of it, which is growing. 300M 68 RFE input shafts, 47, 48 RE300 shafts, all your deep aluminum pans and stuff like that. And we plan on growing our diesel side of parts for the diesel performance as well. The torque converter side, everything as well. We go from your 8 and 9-inch racing, hardcore, full-blown drag race converters to all your street converters, whether it be 4L60, Turbo 350, 700R4, C4, C6, 727, 4L80, which is very popular, 6L80, 8L90s. We're developing the 10Rs right now and testing, which is our sister company handles in Florida. They have the resources for that, for doing all the R&D for what we actually come out with for the rest of the industry.
And all of that, having all the parts is one thing, but there's a guy in a shop somewhere who's looking to make a profit. And how does he go out, find the local business and apply your parts into somebody's street rod, drag racer, diesel, whatever?
That's pretty simple, Bobby, because the customer will dictate to the shop on what he wants built in his unit. By power levels, is it a daily driver? Is it a street and strip unit? Is it a full-blown drag car or diesel truck? We have that complete line as well. So the customer will dictate to the builder on what he wants to do with the vehicle. Then the builder can call and say, hey, I need to go to this power level. What parts do you offer and what do you recommend to go in that to make it live so the shops don't get a comeback? I mean, it's the number one killer of our industry is a comeback.
Ken, do you find that there's a difference between the gas-powered vehicle needs and those of aside from the parts, and those that the diesel customer demands?
Well, the gas side is completely different from the diesel side. The gas side are usually in a vehicle that's not a daily driver. It's a weekend warrior, that kind of stuff, unless it's just a really nice hot rod street car. That may be different. When you get into the diesel side of it, I would say probably 80% of them are daily drivers that these guys beef up and go out and have fun with them over the weekend, whether it's recreation and pulling trailers to a campground or whatever. And then they unhook it when they get home Sunday night and they drive it to work Monday through Friday. So I think there's a little bit different, mentality in those two performance worlds that everyone keeps learning about, and the limitations of it.
Well, finally, I noticed on your website that you have an item that allows people to click to become a dealer. What would a dealer for Independence Driveline be, and how do they sign up?
It's very simple. They have to have a business license, and that's really to protect the dealer. Okay, that it's not some guy trying to just get the best pricing possible. As long as they have a business license and a tax ID number, they can be a dealer for us. We do not put any clause on minimum dollar amounts or stocking orders. Like years past, you need a $20,000 stocking order. Them days are gone in American business in the performance world. Nobody has that kind of money to do that. So we're a user-friendly company. If you're a wholesale, account for us. And if you're not, we're happy to reference you to our retail side that they can help and handle that as well.
Great. And what else do we need to know today?
Well, our product line is constantly improving here. We're a young company. The customers are usually definitely our boss. Hey, we need this, we need that. And we react very quickly about that to get product to the marketplace on what is needed out there. So, and we know what's right and what's wrong. If it's, a flash fire in a pan, we're not going to invest the money in something. But we're pretty reactive on that.
All right. Well, Ken Kelly, we appreciate your time today. Thank you for joining us on Powertrain Perspective.
Very good. Thank you so much. Happy to be here.